And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and I like cheese. Oh, but I'm not talking about cheese. But this game's about cheese. It's called Ratland. And in this game, you are controlling a gang of rats, mafia rats, mob rats, whose goal is to get cheese. I think it's to get cheese. I mean, it's like your life's purpose is to get cheese. And you need that cheese because you need to feed your rats. So this is a simultaneous selection style game. We're going to be placing your rats in different areas, fighting each other and stealing other people's cheese, then going and pulling cheese from a bag and trying to get cheese. I said the word cheese a lot here. That sounds cheesy. Let's get to the review. Each player is going to be given their own rat board here. Along with players are going to start with 7 rats and 2 pieces of cheese in their pantry. Each round of the game, you're going to turn over an event card. And this event card is some sort of event's going to happen. When this card is going to be shuffled in the bottom, quote-unquote, final events. And when this card shows up, the game instantly ends. So it could be the last card. There could be 12 rounds. You're also going to turn over one of these cards. This is going to show you 3 different areas, the green, the blue, and orange area, and the amounts of cheese in each of these areas. Players are then going to put a shield up to hide their area, and then players are going to choose where they put their rats. If they put rats here on the left or right pipe, they are sending those rats to attack the neighbors to your left or right. If you put rats in the pantry, those are rats you're going to use to defend against attacks from your neighbors. If you put rats here, these rats are going to breed. And if you put rats up in these 3 areas, you're going to send them out to collect cheese from the green, blue, and or orange areas. Once everyone's done doing that, you reveal and attacks happen. If you attack your neighbor with more rats than they've defended, you will steal a piece of cheese from them for each extra rat that you have. If you put a rat here on the breeding area, you'll get another rat, or maybe use a double rat token. So you'll have more rats as the game goes by. If you put rats out here, starting with the start player, each player is going to draw pieces of cheese from a bag based on how many rats that they've sent out. So, for example, here in the green area, you would do the green area first. You'll take from the pile of cheese here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the yellows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whites. And let's say I sent 2 rats there. I would shake these up, and then I'm going to pull 2 pieces of cheese from the bag. I got a yellow and a white. In this case, a white is nothing, and a yellow is a piece of cheese. Different colors will mean different things. If you get orange, you trade that in and get 2 pieces of yellow cheese. If you get purple, then you get sick and your rat needs to go to the infirmary, where they basically lose 1 turn. You'll have to wait till the next time. If you get a piece of black cheese, the rat runs away. If you get a piece of blue cheese, your rat gets lost, and you put them here, well, they'll come back on a future turn. So, not all cheese is good cheese, I suppose. So once everyone is done going out and collecting the different cheeses, then everyone's going to have to feed all their rats. So the number of cheese you need to feed your rats is located by this chart. So if I have, for example, 10 rats, I'll need to pay 4 cheese. I only have 3 cheese. So for each cheese I can't pay, one of my rats will die and go to my graveyard. You do not need to pay for rats that are lost, but you do need to pay for rats that are in the infirmary. And then you start another turn, and you go on, and you keep doing this. When this card shows up, you get a point for every rat that you have. You lose a point for every rat that was sent to the graveyard. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, the number one thing we want to talk about is this cheese. This is great. Nice plastic cheese, looks good, different colors. I don't know what it is about this cheese. I just love it. When I opened the game and saw this, I was like, yeah! The rat tokens are okay. I'm not really sure why these double rat tokens exist, because sure, you can put them out and say I'm sending 2 rats, but then you have to split them up. These cards are pretty easy. They even give you a couple blank cards. Hey, put your own amounts of cheese in there. But, you have these, and they tell you exactly what amounts of cheese to put in. The cards themselves here, these cards have a lot of, I don't know. The artwork on these cards, it's fine. It's like rats and stuff. but it definitely keeps it from being a kid's game, because there's, I mean, even when you look at the stuff, it's incredibly violent, and or has things like drugs or Hannibal Lecter, all sorts of, again, not terrible stuff in here, but definitely stuff, where the kids are going to say, what's going on in this situation? Even things from, the breeding area and stuff. There's a flip side to the board where here you can fight other rats. You can send your rats to attack other rats and actually kill the rats. And again, like I said, the art on this, while not necessarily bad or anything, definitely means I wouldn't play it with young children for sure. But other than that, the components for the game seem to be very well done. Now, the game itself feels very interesting, and I don't mind playing Ratland. I don't know that I would go out of my way, though, to play, and there's a few reasons for that. There's a couple things about the game. I like pulling things from a bag. This, though, does seem awfully random. You're sitting there going, this one gives me a 50% chance to get a cheese, or not. This one gives me a 60% chance of getting a cheese, but also I could draw negative stuff. I mean, you just can get hosed by these draws, and if that bothers you, you don't want to play this game. It doesn't bother me so much. I find it okay. It's interesting. The problem is that you have to fill that bag every time. It's fill the bag, draw, draw, draw. And if there's a tie, and whoever sent the fewest rats goes first, and then if there's still a tie, then it goes by player order. Fine. I mean, if everyone goes to the same spot. So it's like fill the bag, here, 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 here. Okay, empty the bag. Put the new pieces of cheese in the bag. Pass it around, fill here, here, here. Okay, put these cheeses back in the bag. And it just feels like you're doing this. It feels like I got tired of filling that bag after a while. It just felt like you did it too many times over the course of the game. And the game ends after a random number of rounds. If it ends after, I think it's 12 rounds, I think is the max, that's too long. It should be shorter than that. So those are minor things. A bigger problem with the game is just the straight up in your face attacking of it. I can just keep stealing your cheese. Now there's a couple ways to mitigate that. Spend my rats to defend against yours. Well, first of all, that's boring. If all I'm doing is defending, I don't get anything from it. Secondly, I can mitigate against that by just not having any cheese left over. That's a little harder to pull off, right? Because you don't know how much cheese you're going to draw from the bags each turn. And so if someone is just sending out their rats to get a lot of cheese, I can say, I'm just going to take it from them. They have more cheese. So then they, by nature, so if I get too much cheese, it's like a punishment. Whoo, you got a lot of cheese. Great. Now I have to sit here and spend my rats simply to defend this cheese. And the game keeps you from just saying, well, I'm just going to have a lot of rat babies, blah, 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 because then they'll just all go right to the graveyard and you will lose. Every time you lose a rat, that is a critically bad thing. Losing those points at the end of the game. So it's kind of weird. Like, it has this cute rat theme with a fairly adult background. I mean, there's drugs and dead rats and all sorts of stuff going on in here. That's not that big of a deal, but the game feels like a kid's game almost. I just don't know that I would play it with kids. It's also a very light game, but a little long, I think, for what it is. It's just a little long to be doing a ton of randomness and attacking each other. I can't even, I haven't played with the alternative side of the board where you can kill other people's rats when you attack them and stuff. It's like the game's already pretty mean, and there is at least a one event card that forces you to attack the people next to you. So, there's still some good ideas in here. There's still fun to be found in this game, but overall, I think I would search elsewhere while eating cheese. Dice Tower Judgment. Cheese is good. This game is okay.